Don't ride here. Ride here. Explore new horizons with Moto Freight. Proud sponsors of Under the Visor.
So I'm Mario. I am a director of the TRF, and we look after, we're the club for riding on unsurfaced roads throughout England and Wales. Well, a few years back, I was off on a round the world trip with the family, and I was in Cairns in Australia in a vehicle, in a van, and the kids were going jip, 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 how many more miles? And the wife was going jip, 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 how many more miles? And this guy rode up to me, English guy, in a BMW 1200 GS. And I had a look at that and thought, I'll have some of that. Got back from the trip, went along, got my ticket, joined the TRF, and the rest was history. Not at all. I mean, motorcycling for me was something that had always been at the back of my mind. You know, when I was younger, wanted a bike, but parents said, well, they were almost on the verge, but then said, oh, a bit too dangerous, and that was it. So it never was something that really came up, and instead I had cars, all sorts of cars, fast cars and four-wheel drives and all the rest of this stuff. Very much as a petrol head, but bikes is recent, 5 years or so. You know, I'm a businessman at the end of the day, and when you see something and you enjoy something a lot, whatever it is, golf or whatever, people have their passions, but you see that the infrastructure behind it is broken. As a businessman, you want to go and fix it. You want to do what you can to go off and fix it. And I simply took my years and years of corporate experience, working in corporate companies, building telecoms companies, which I do as a day job, and took that experience and put it into the TRF. Not in a corporate way, but in a very personable, hopefully, way. And it's paid off, and we're doing incredibly well at the moment. So the Trail Riders Fellowship has been going since 1970. We started off at in Tring in Hertfordshire, and we started off as an organisation that wanted to preserve roads that people have been using, unsurfaced roads, and get people riding on them. So we went out and cleared lanes and made sure that lost routes were preserved. Now it's grown into a large and very well respected rights of way organisation, and basically we're guardians of the roads in England and Wales, and we operate through a system of groups, 40 groups, who preserve the roads around their area, and we take trail riders out, people who want to ride off-road, and I use the word advisedly because they are roads. We take them out and show them how to ride, where to ride, and have a great time. Well, we have every group has a rights of way, rights of road officer who looks after the patch, deals with councils, and basically looks after the rights in that area. That's done at a local level. But a far bigger fight is on larger projects, on larger pieces of government legislation. We will use the money that we do from our membership revenue to fight court cases and actively lobby politics and politicians for our rights to ride. We had a very successful campaign a year ago, Right to Your MP. We actually got featured for the first time in Parliament, associated with the debate on green exercise, and now we're looking at going along, taking our argument to Countryfile Live, where we're going to be exhibiting this year, and also to the Gamekeepers Association, the Gamekeepers Fair. So we're going to be taking our discussion and any sort of prejudices that people have about us to the landowners and the great and good of this country. Well, a few years back, when you know, starting with a marketing business head around me, I sat down with a bunch of guys and we actually broke down what the core benefits were to being in the TRF, that basically people couldn't get elsewhere. because if you want to go off and ride a few lanes, no problem. You can look those up on the web, you can do a bit of research, you can pick up this information and get on with it. But with the TRF, you can go out, you can contact, you can ride with 5,000 people, you can find out where to ride. You can obviously look up around 3,000 miles of lanes easily on the web, but another 3,000 you get from the TRF. Places with access to simply more riding. And then all sorts of benefits, training, lots of benefits behind that, you know, that easily outweigh its £45 a year fee. Well, where we're after is simply, our number one aim is conservation. It's keeping what we've got. Yeah, it's that simple. So the existing, and we do have, you know, 6,000 miles of unsurfaced roads to ride on. If you compare that to motorways, there are about 2,000 miles of motorways, so there's plenty of unsealed roads to ride on. We want to conserve that. That's our number one aim. And how we're going to do that is addressing some of the issues that are driving forces against us. And this is antisocial riding, illegal riding. We must make our case clear that we have solutions to address that, and we'll be left alone. I mean, I don't get paid for what I do. It's purely voluntary, yeah? All the directors, and we have a great team of directors, they're 9 directors, we just do this for the fun and the love of it, okay? We enjoy trail riding. One of the things, and one of the attractions, is you get to meet some fantastic people, and that is probably the reason why I do it. And as long as that continues, and I come, like today, to amazing places I simply did not know existed in the Malvern Hills. Tomorrow I'm getting taken out by a local guy here who's going to show me all the best lanes. For me, that is reward enough.
Don't ride here. Ride here. Explore new horizons with Moto Freight. Proud sponsors of Under the Visor.